What's going on, everybody? It's WebsterStyle, Brian Sapph, here for another NRW Checkpoint. Brian, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
I'm good. Well, we got some gaming. Well, there's been a lot of gaming news the past couple days. We need to talk about Microsoft Activision because we just want that to be done. But Ubisoft is now going to be eating from that deal. So that's a good thing for Ubisoft because they need the money. Anyway.
I didn't hear about that.
Oh, yeah. You know, okay, side note. So the CMA in Great Britain were the only ones that like, nah, dog, we can't. Well, we know about the FTC BS, but they were like, we don't want to put it through because we're worried about cloud play and cloud gaming. Right. You monopolize cloud gaming. And, you know, we were like, huh? They signed all these other deals. So basically to move the process along, because the CMA is like, maybe we need to reevaluate because everybody else has said yes, and America's on some BS. So we need to make some changes. So Microsoft is like, you know what? Hold up. Yo, Ubisoft, this is what we're going to do. You're going to take the cloud gaming rights to all these Activision games. And then we'll pay you to get those rights back for our system. And you can dole those out to anybody else. So it's like a one-time payment from Ubisoft to get the money, to get the rights. And then they get to sell the cloud gaming rights across Great Britain. So it's just Great Britain. It's just the UK. It's just the UK. It's not Europe. It's not anywhere else because the CMA is the only one they issue.
Right.
So those games would then be on Ubisoft Plus and then other cloud. And then it's just cloud gaming. So this doesn't prevent Microsoft from putting those games natively on Game Pass in Great Britain. Right. It's just they couldn't offer them via the cloud unless they paid Ubisoft to do so.
Okay, so I mean that's good for Ubisoft, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean that's nothing but like a little clever workaround because
it is. Okay, I can't hate.
Well, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Whatever you got to do to get your deals to go through, that's fine with me. It's just, you still getting what you want. You just got to go through an extra wall, but that's fine.
That is a drop in the bucket compared to the whole deal being $70 billion. It's like, okay, take these crumbs. We won't get this deal through. That's pretty much what it's about. So, but the second thing news-wise, and just came out today, was we talked about the PlayStation Q, and we talked about who in the hell this is for, and everybody speculated that this thing would come out and be priced at $299, which everybody across the internet basically said that is ridiculous. That's too much money. Well, we got a reveal today on a whole bunch of YouTube influencers and gaming channels, and it's not the PlayStation Q, it's the PlayStation Portal. It is exactly what they said it was. It's basically a DualShock with an 8-inch LCD screen, QHD screen running 1080p resolution. It is strictly for remote play. So it's just you have to have a PS5 to connect remotely through an internet to your PS5 to play it. And it works best if it's on the same Wi-Fi. So basically in your house. But this is the kicker. And this is the thing that I think surprised everybody. It's only retailing for $199.
Yeah, which it's a fair price. It's just still
it is.
Just for me, I don't, because then I also saw that they were saying that it will only work if the Portal and the PlayStation 5 are on two separate Wi-Fi networks. So I don't know if that's like the truth, or I don't know, because you're saying they got to be on. It works best on the same, which that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah,
that would make sense to me. Like you could do it on whatever, but they were saying like, oh, it's not gonna be able to. Either way, the real part of the thing, the Portal, that's like bothering me is that there's no there's no storage on board. Like there's no. Which, I mean, I guess in hindsight, that would make sense because you're streaming a game, like you cloud playing a game or remote playing a game. You're not necessarily, launching a game natively from the device. But I don't know. I still don't necessarily, I don't know. I guess me personally, since I'm not like, I don't play remote, like I just don't do remote play. So I guess I wouldn't have any use for it or anything like that. But time will tell, I guess. I don't know.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree. I think that it is a very niche product. You have a very limited audience, but I think that at $199 price point, you'll have more people that will pick it up just because it's that price point compared to who will pick it up because they really need it. Because I can understand if you are in a household where, you know, your PlayStation is hooked up to the main television, multiple people use that television,
right?
And you want to play your PlayStation, and you want to do it now. Okay, great. But what I was saying to Kuya beforehand, they offer remote play via the web, via your computer.
Right.
There have been many a times that I have, whether it has been in my own household where I don't have to fight for the TV, or if I've gone out like visiting and whatnot, and this is even before the advent of cloud play, I've just taken a controller, plugged it up my computer, and done remote play via my computer. We have a much larger screen. Yeah.
Right. Which that seems a lot more, I mean, that makes more sense. So I guess the Portal, like you said, is a niche product, but then it's also like for entry level remote players, because you know, at least with the Portal, it's like I don't have to take a computer with me or anything like that. I could just, you know, pack this up. It's very small and portable. So I mean, I guess there's a place for it in the market. I'm just I don't know. I don't remote play, so I don't see myself buying this. And what would have been more ideal for me is if they would have done like they did the PlayStation Portable and the PlayStation Vita, and allowed it, because you know, with the Portable and the Vita, those devices were also remote play devices, but then they also were like independent gaming consoles. So that would have been, at least for me, that would have been more something I would have been able or willing to put, you know, $200-$400 towards. But a PlayStation 5 controller with a screen on it, it's not grabbing me, especially with the fact that a PlayStation controller without a screen on it about $75-$80. So it's like, whoever needs it will need it, and they'll probably get it. But yeah, it's like you said, a niche product for those who need it.
This is what I think Sony should do, and I don't know how much this would really take. But I think they should really release a handheld running PS4 architecture. Either through emulation or something. That way this is one of the things that I think that Nintendo is going to be smart and do with their next Switch. Because the Switch ain't going nowhere.
It's
no time soon.
No, it's too good.
Soon.
It's too good.
So they're gonna have to be backwards compatible. So you're gonna have companies still developing for the Switch and that architecture, and being able to port things over or be played on a new device. I would assume, and again, I'm not a software engineer, but we're talking about this is technology that is what, 10 plus years old now with PS4, now what, 2023? So yeah, about 10 years old. You know, you're emulating already on the PS5. So you're telling me that you couldn't develop a small device to emulate PS4 games, have access to the digital store with some sort of storage, just not your proprietary memory stick. Do they even still make memory sticks? That was the dumbest ever. Anyway, if they done something like that, and then charge $299 for that, because this is what I'm thinking. You have a handheld device that already has a humongous catalog of games. You have an incentive for companies to develop still using that architecture. And then you have games that not only play on that handheld, but then because PS5 and that digital library, you can then play those at home on your PS5, and then you can have an Xbox situation where you have patches and whatnot that upgrade it to the PS5, or at least PS5 level, you know, 1080p upgraded graphics, yada yada yada. I think that would be smart for Sony. I think that's something that would be very unique in the handheld market, and again, especially to prolong or utilize your backwards compatibility and that humongous library that you built up in the PS4. I think honestly, if Xbox, I need Xbox to do something like that, because this is the thing with Xbox and handhelds. Xbox had that play anywhere compatibility where you had X amount of games, you bought them to Xbox, you also bought them on PC. And they're like, I think Gears of War 4, because there are some games that I own that are like that. Gears of War 4, even Cuphead, like I can download it on my PC, no problem, because I own the game on every platform that Microsoft publishes that or sells that game to. You have something like that now. That's hard to do now simply because most PC games are going through Steam and Epic, and nobody goes to the Microsoft store to buy PC games. But you have something like that. That would be an excellent way of then offering a handheld, a PC, or even some sort of PC handheld device, or partnering with a company. Like I was telling Kuya P, I was in Best Buy and I had got my hands on the Rogue LIG or whatever it's called. And I'm like, I ain't trying to drop $700 on any gaming device, but I felt like that was worth $700 having it in my hand, for it to have a pretty powerful gaming PC literally in my hands. I came away impressed with just holding everything. But going back to the Portal, this is just one of those things where it is comparable in price to the Nintendo Wii Lite. I mean, Switch Lite, excuse me. I still think it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's an easier pill to swallow because it's $199. Because let's be frank, I think this will get more people to buy it than the VR2.
Definitely. VR2, you got to be stationary to play that.
Yep. And then also, though, I was thinking this, and then we'll move on to for games this week. This will be something, too, that if it's remote play, it should work with the PS6. Because I would assume they would still have remote play with that as well, whenever that comes out in 10 years or whenever it is.
Now, see, this is where, because I like your idea of what you're saying, like still developing games with the PlayStation 4 archetype so that they're able to play on the Portal if it was like an actual like console or whatever. So that would just give them, if when the PS6 comes along, that would just give them incentive to keep going with the portable hardware thing and just do the same thing. Because I'm thinking about it, even though the PlayStation 5 has been on the market for, a couple years now, whatever, we still had that major like delay because of COVID or whatever. So at this point, still, they have games that have a PlayStation 4 version and a PlayStation 5 version. It's just literally whichever one you decide to play it on. But the PlayStation 5 is capable of playing the PS4 and the PlayStation 5 version on the 5. So you really only need the PlayStation 4 version if you're still using PlayStation 4. That would work perfect for something to come along like a handheld, especially if you're trying to phase the PlayStation 4 out. Just continue to make those games backwards compatible like that, or have those two different things or whatever. That way, if I'm home or if I'm on the road or whatever, I could play, Overwatch or Apex or whatever, because those are two games specifically that I'm thinking of that I have on my system that have both a PS4 and a PS5 version still available. I could play the PlayStation 4 version on my PlayStation Portable, whatever the case might be or whatever. And then when I come home, I could just play on the PlayStation 5 and just, it won't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it won't be so much of a, like, just apparent, like, difference and a disconnect between the actual consoles. Because now you're repurposing the PlayStation 4 games or whatever to be compatible with the Portable. And then, you keep developing for PlayStation 5. I think that would be a good idea, and I think that would be an easier sell to people. I do like the price point of $200. It seems fair, all things considered, when it comes to the specifications behind the PlayStation Portal. But I think I would be more enticed to buy a PlayStation Portal if it was an actual handheld, and it's like, oh no, we're actively making games for this. They'll run the same way a PlayStation 4 runs or whatever. Even that, because then we remove PlayStation 5 from the equation. Now it's a PlayStation Portal. You can play your games on the Portal, or you can play it on your system, your PlayStation 4. So I don't know. I think that should have been the route that they ended up taking, especially with the way that handheld consoles are beginning to become more of a mainstay in gaming culture today. Like, the Nintendo did what it did with the Game Boys and everything like that. They phased them out, and now we have the Switch and all that stuff like that. The success of the Switch enticed everybody to put out these Steam Deck and all of these other handheld consoles. I think, especially with the fanfare and the following that the PlayStation portable, the PSP and the PS Vita had, it would have been really easy for them to come back and be like, oh, now we got another handheld console. It's the PlayStation Portable, and we run it the same way you just described with the PlayStation 4 archetype. I think people would have really gravitated towards that. But
yeah, I agree.
Missed opportunities, Sony. Maybe they'll maybe because how Sony, what I noticed about Sony anyway, they like to kind of I don't know. We have these ideas and we know they could implement these things and do better, but usually in a case like this, that's something that's coming on longer down the line. Because with the PlayStation Portable, it was like, okay, it would be dope if we could just download these games instead of having to carry around disc all the time. A couple years later, the PS Vita comes out. That's exactly what it could do. So I think the Portal 2 may have what you're talking about. Whenever that comes out, maybe that's PlayStation 6 lifetime, whatever. We'll get that kind of situation. But I definitely like that better than just, selling me a remote play handheld device when I could just use my phone that probably has a better screen and throw on, a little controller attachment.
Backbone 400. Yeah. But I will say this, though. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm thinking. How much does it cost Sony to make this if they can charge $199 and make a profit?
Honestly, they probably make it a lot, because they probably would make it a lot, because they do nothing but slapping the screen.
That's what I'm saying.
In the middle of the controller.
That's a $200 device.
Mm-hmm.
Sony's one of those companies where, at least in accessories, because I know they make a lot of money in accessories and the extra stuff, not so the systems. Systems are always you make a profit, but you don't make a humongous profit off of the systems. And that's usually the way it goes. Mm. However, something like this, I can imagine they're probably making at least $100 on each one of these. I can't see them paying I can see them making these. It costs them $100 to make one, and them charging $199. Definitely. Easy. I see them having a high profit margin or something like this.
I agree, especially because it's Sony, and they also, it's that company itself has its hand in every piece of tech. They develop chips and everything for smartphones. They develop screens for smartphones. They have their own phones on the market, powered by Android and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they're not even losing any money by making this. They taking refurbished screens from whichever Sony phone is gone now, and just throwing them in the middle of the controller and saying, look, we got a portable device here. But I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at all. It just it's niche. So we'll see. It'll be interesting if it has a big explosion in sales because of the holiday season. But I guess what is 40 million PlayStation 5s, even if you get a 1% attach rate, that's still 400,000 if my math is right.
True. And you know what else I just thought of?
Was it 1%?
The way technology is moving, I could definitely see Sony.
No, 400,000, not 40, 400,000. That's still a lot of accessories to move.
Definitely, but the way Sony is moving, I could definitely see the portable being a precursor to something more along the lines of what we talked about. Because I'm thinking about it, cars are starting to have Wi-Fi built into them and stuff like that. So I could definitely see them wanting to capitalize off of the fact that kids can play on the road. Just ask mom and dad to turn the Wi-Fi on in the Tesla or whatever, and just roll out. So I don't know. there's things here happening, but we could talk about this all day.
We can. All right, let's get into some games. First up this week, we have Fort Solis, and whatever in the notes I wrote Fort Soils. I was thinking about something else when I was writing this up. But it's on the PS5, PC, and Mac. It's an adventure game from Fallen Leaf Studios as the developer and Dear Villagers as the publisher. So Fort Solis is a single-player third-person thriller set on the far side of Mars. Engineer Jack Lear responds to a routine alarm at Fort Solis and finds the outpost to be unnervingly dormant. As the night grows longer, events begin to unravel and spiral out of control. And we are watching the trailer for that one. When I saw the synopses, some of the things I saw when looking at it talked about horror, talked about John Carpenter-esque. I'm like, oh, John Carpenter. Oh, I gotta watch this trailer. We gotta see what this is about.
Right.
The horror master, like, he's not involved, but still is one of those things where, okay, if you're talking about John Carpenter-esque, I'm like, all right, that's what a creepy suspense one is. Even, look, say what you will, I enjoyed Ghosts of Mars. It's a great movie for what it is. So okay. It's not scary, but it was fun. A lot of people don't like that John Carpenter movie, but I do. So next up we have, I would say, probably one of the biggest games this week. It's with a lot of these games have gotten a lot of fanfare and hype over the past couple of weeks and months. Big titles from big studios. This one is Immortals of Aveum. It's on the PS4, Xbox Series systems, and PC. Action game from Ascendant Studios and EA Originals as the publisher. Immortals of Aveum is a single-player, first-person magic shooter that tells the story of Jack as he joins an elite order of battle mages to save a world on the edge of abyss. The game is set in the world of Aveum, which is rife with conflict as the two opposing nations of Lucium and Rasham fight for control of the magical ley lines that power the very fabric of the world. Jack is an individual with latent magical powers. Okay, first of all, can we get some more original names than Jack, J-A-K? Like, come on. Yeah. Now. Like, we have all these cool names for the worlds, Lucium and Rasham, and hi, I'm Jack.
Right.
Really? Maybe Jack could show up for something.
I'm not even going. I expect that kind of blandness from EA, honestly. I don't, for whatever reason, whenever I see EA attached, we get things like Jack and Sarah, and just not so much. Not so, this is a game about a person that got magical powers. He joined it. Like, Jack got to be something else, and then on top of that, the real GOAT, Jack, the one that everybody loves, his best friend is Daxter. We don't recognize any other Jacks outside of that one.
Look, I'm not in PlayStation head, but I give you that one. I agree.
Okay,
that's the only Jack that I recognize.
Yeah, let's come up with something else. They didn't even do anything special. They gave him J-A-K, just like Jack from Jack and Daxter. Why is he a human now? I don't know. Maybe this is foreshadowing for something else. Either way,
we shall see.
Good, because this particular game, I have my eye on it. I like the premise of it.
Right.
The couple of reveal trailers that we've seen so far, because they've been promoting this game for quite some time. I'm interested. I just, for some reason, I'm not like all the way sold. So maybe are we watching the trailer?
Yeah, we are watching the trailer. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see if they can grab me at the end of that.
All right. Next up, we have a game that we talked about before. Smurfs Kart Racing is finally coming out for PS4, 5, Xbox One, S, and X. It's Smurfs. It's kart racing. Yeah. It came out for the Switch last year. What else is there to say?
Pretty much it.
Yep.
I'm really ready for them to come together and just make like a really huge, like, everybody in this kart racer and be done. Man.
That would be insane.
I feel like it would be something.
There are too many licenses. Everybody want their cut of the money, and nobody would be happy. I bet you.
True.
All right. Next up, we have a game that was pushed back a week, but this is a game that I've been looking forward to, and I know Kuya P is going to be interested in this one as well. It is WrestleQuest. It's on the PS. It's on everything, and well, I should say it's not on Mac, but it's on PS4, 5, Xbox One S, X, Switch, PC, and Netflix. So if you got your Netflix subscription, you can play it via Netflix for FREE. So this is an RPG. It's from MegaCat Studios as the developer and Skybound Games as a developer. So powerbomb and pile drive your way through a massive pixel art universe where professional wrestling, with something's missing in that description, with professional wrestling, take a hero's journey. Entice, upgrade from aspiring rookie to world champion by training, learning, glamming, and slamming to the top of the pro wrestling food chain. Draw inspiration from wrestling icons Jake the Snake Roberts, Macho Man Randy Savage, and more. Classic RPG combat meet wrestling moves, match styles, and gimmicks galore. So, of course, we're watching the trailer for that one.
Okay, definitely.
I was surprised though that I'm like, wait a minute, Netflix. It's a Netflix game. I'm like, Netflix is making some moves, and I am happy about that. Just to give more diversity to gaming and to get more people into gaming. And one of the things that I've seen recently is that they are, there it is, WrestleQuest right there. I looked at my phone, new releases, first thing up there. They are testing on certain TVs where you're able to actually play the game on your TV using your phone as a controller.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah, that is real dope. So I like that functionality. I like that accessibility, because these are, all these are, I'm looking at a lot of these are mobile games, but they have a Queen's Gambit game, a Sonic game. We talked about Oxenfree 2 a couple weeks ago, and that's a pretty dope game, especially considering how well the first one did. Spiritfarer, a game we talked about as well on platforms, is also part of the subscription.
I have Spiritfarer on Switch already.
Right.
Dope.
So they got a couple, a pretty prominent, really good. They got a Shovel Knight game on here as well. Immortality, which is a game that I've been meaning to play on Game Pass, which is leaving soon. I've heard nothing but great things about. What else? Shatter Remaster, which is a game I reviewed for the NRW. Played that on Xbox. So Netflix has, for their game service, has some pretty cool games on here. And for it to be, this is one of the things I $15.99 a month is it's a lot. I'm sorry. It's a lot. It's these. However, I cannot be upset with the fact that you also get the gaming option as well.
Yeah.
And I look at it from a
stay though.
I'm sorry?
How long will it stay $15.99 once
it's going up next year. I figure it's going up next year. We're due every year and a half, 2 years now, seems like. So yeah, we're due. But from a comprehensive sort of view of it, and especially with a game like WrestleQuest, and we're going to see the trailer, you have a couple high quality games like that. If you utilize everything, $15.99 is not a bad deal, especially looking at other game subscription options. I don't know how much Luna is, but I think even for Luna's highest tier, you're in that $12, $13, $14 range. I may be wrong about that. Game Pass, at least for Ultimate, it's now $16.99 or $15.99, I think.
Okay.
Again, pretty much equivalent. For the PlayStation Plus, I think the highest tier is $20 a month?
For PlayStation Plus?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I paid a yearly subscription, so I'm not sure about the monthly thing. Okay.
So it's, if you look at it in that way, it's not bad at all. Definitely. It's just that not everybody, and I think Apple Arcade is like $6.99 a month. I think Google Play has a similar thing now with a subscription for games. But again, in totality, it's not bad. But again, who plays the games on Netflix game? Like, I forget that it's there because I don't play games on my phone.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I don't watch Netflix on my phone either. Like,
same here.
Yeah, if I'm not at a TV, it's not going down.
I can't remember the last time I downloaded something on my phone, like if I went on a business trip or something. Mm-hmm. One, I got my computer for that. Right. Two, I'm not watching Netflix I'm not watching any streaming service on my phone.
Yeah. Anymore. I just feel like the TV is better.
Yeah, TV's better. My computer's better. Right. There's always something that's a better option than my phone. And if I am going somewhere where I'm going to watch something, like for instance, for me, I know I'm taking a flight somewhere. There are X amount of movies that I have in my cloud that I will download and take with me on my computer just in case the selection sucks or there's nothing I want to watch or just something to pass the time. Again, I'm weird in that way. No, I know everybody's not weird in that way, but yeah, it's just not something there. But again, look at it totality. It is really not a bad value because there are some really good games. You just got to use the games more often. That's all. Yeah. But I might download, check out WrestleQuest just because it's there and get my impressions of it. Yeah.
And to your point, I'm the same way. I don't download anything, but I keep the apps on my phone just in case I come across something I can Chromecast or cast it to. Normally that's a TV in like a hotel room or an Airbnb or whatever. I could just press the cast button. I'm good. So
don't get me started about casting. That's why I hate having a Pixel. I hate having a Pixel.
Yeah. Oh, why?
Because Pixel, they use the Google Chromecast standard. So you need to have a Chromecast.
Yeah,
I hate it with a passion because everything else uses Mirrorcast. Every other Android phone uses Mirrorcast. So I never had that issue before I got a Pixel. I'm like, dude, crazy. I'm not giving Google more of my money.
Right. They definitely trying to lock me in like Apple, get a legal system going. But I like that Netflix is expanded into gaming or whatever, especially given the origins of Netflix or whatever. When they first started, you could get games in the mail same way you could DVDs. So I like that they kind of going back to their traditional route, but in a more, streamlined way for today's standards. Now we could just play straight from the phone on the TV or whatever the case might be. That's pretty cool. Hopefully they get some, I don't know. They got a good selection of games. You should, I don't know, you and your daughter, I think y'all would like the Spiritfarer game. It's a very good game, in my opinion, or whatever, for people in general, because it kind of teaches you how to deal with losing somebody you love, like a family member or something like that. Like the game is very heavily dealing with helping spirits transition over into the wherever they're going.
Right. But I played some of it when it was on Game Pass, so I am familiar.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a good one. But what's next? What we got next?
Next up, we have Blasphamous 2. So in this,
come out?
I don't know.
What?
Look, we don't play every game, ladies and gentlemen. So there's some things we just don't know about. So Blasphamous 2 is on the PS5, Xbox Series S, X, Switch, and PC. Now, surprise! This is what I don't ever understand about these games. If it's on the Switch, like, okay, why is there not a Xbox One or PS4 version? I'm just like, okay, how is it that much different? Like the Switch is going to be a drastic downgrade from these PS5 and Xbox Series versions. So I don't know. Again, I'm not a game developer, so I don't know. It's an action game from developer, the Game Kitchen, and publisher Team 17. We've been seeing a lot of Team 17 lately in their publishing, man. They are on it.
They own it, yeah.
So Blasphamous 2 is a side-scrolling, 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania action-adventure game. Players, that's probably why, because it's a Metroidvania game, which is, there's so many of them out there, it gets lost in the mix. But apparently, this one did good enough to get a sequel. Players assume control of the Penitent One, a silent knight who must embark on a new adventure in a new kingdom to prevent the rebirth of the curse, or of a curse named the Miracle. If that's not an oxymoron.
Right.
The curse is called the Miracle. Okay.
But it makes you intrigued about the story, though.
It does. It does. Why? The story of the game is set after the wounds of the Eventide update of the original game. As with previous games in the series, the world in the game is filled with deadly traps, difficult platform sequences, hostile enemies, and boss characters. Though battles will also encounter other non-playable characters, will either aid to their player or send them on side quests. So, okay, Metroidvania, we are not watching the trailer for that one.
Okay.
Not anything against Metroidvanias, but or Blasphamous too, but there are so many Metroidvania style games now. It is.
I do from what you read though with the synopsis, I do like the fact that it's picking up directly after, I guess, a DLC for the first one. A lot of games don't do that. They'll add these DLC to these games, and then the two will come out, and it'll be completely different direction or something different with the same characters. So I do like that because it's kind of like a straight start continuation between Blasphamous 1 and 2. So that's cool. And then next,
that's that. Next up, we have, again, it's one of those games that we've heard a lot about, and the studio now is very lauded because of the Dark Souls series. And this is really one of the first series that they did that they really started to get noticed, and that is the Armored Core series. So this is Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon on PS4, 5, Xbox One, SX, and PC. Action game from Software, and as a developer and publisher, Bandai Namco. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon is set on a distant planet called Rubicon 3. Humanity discovered a new energy source called coral on the planet, which could dramatically increase its technological capabilities. However, the substance caused a cataclysmic event known as the Fire of Ibis, engulfing the planet and the surrounding star system in flames. Nearly 50 years later, right, the substance has resurfaced, and corporations and resistance groups fight over it. You play as a freelancing mercenary, and you will create your very own mech that you can use to maneuver and blast through a series of missions. Let's stop for a second.
Right.
You discover this.
That would just come on, because I was going there.
And then somebody screws up, and it destroys not only the planet, but the whole star system.
Right. And now y'all fighting over it again.
Yeah. Y'all asking to die.
Right. Well, I guess there's a reason we on number 6, huh?
Y'all asking to die. This is when, this is one of the things about horror movies, especially in the past few years. There have been some good ones, but a lot of them are dumb because you like, why are you making such stupid decisions? Like, this is one of those times I'm like, why are you like playing with fire? Like, literally, like little fire. You're like, I got special gloves this time. No, you're still gonna burn yourself, fool.
Right. It's crazy because in situations like that, it's always the smartest people making the dumbest decisions. I always notice that it's always the scientists or the military expert just running around, forgetting all of the training and everything that you know about this super dangerous substance, and you just making dumb decisions. But I guess that's a part of just entertainment in general. Sometimes you want to see the smart people being dumb because they always portray themselves to be super smart. Either way, I don't know. I've been interested in watching this trailer. I did hear about Armored Core coming out this week, and I like mech games. I've been patiently waiting for Respawn to stop focusing so much on Apex and give us another. And what's the name of the game? I just lost it that fast. But Apex players, y'all know what I'm talking about. I've been waiting for this game, Titanfall. I've been waiting for waiting for a new Titanfall game. They act like they didn't tell us they was in development and just pretend like it don't exist anymore. This new one. So maybe Armored Core will replace, these feelings that I have for Titanfall and get me into like a solid mech game that's gonna actually continue to be a mech game moving forward. because those tend to be fun. You build something and then, you know, you can pretend like you're a Gundam and you do all kind of stuff, blow things up, and your person alive or stays alive on the inside. I'm interested. We have a trailer for it as well.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, next.
Let's
get into our trailers. Let's start off with Armored Core 6.
I feel like I should go back and play it. Since this company is committed to Armored Core. Shout out to Bandai. Bandai, they've been around as long as I can remember.
That's how it's always been.
They've just been delivering quality.
Armored Core games always look cool as hell.
Yeah.
Target for termination site. Time to pay the piper.
I just something about the customization ability. Like this game really makes me happy because it's like I can really personalize it.
Acquired. Terminate them.
Ugly dog is punished and broken. We won't fail this time. The system game is burning. Immediate termination.
You don't know when to quit. Like all the other races.
It looks pretty good too.
Like, it does.
Choice. Sit on the fence. You make no enemies. Or friends.
The hell is that?
It's alive.
Oh.
It doesn't die easy.
Never does.
2-1.
Nope. Never does.
It's time for work.
Well,
okay.
I hate to say it looks like it should look, but it's Armored Core. It's from Soft. I mean, I expect nothing less from them at this point in time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested though. I'm gonna do a little bit more research on that. My list of games to buy is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
But I'm still gonna buy the games. What's next?
Next up, we have WrestleQuest.
Okay. So now, I'm very interested in
the next great legend of wrestling.
I can see myself playing this.
Everyone wants to know. ShoPowSho Man! Bravely embarking on an epic quest, traveling the world to take on the very best.
If you want to walk in the footsteps of legends, you'll need to master the art of WrestleQuest combat. Booyah! Use your slam-tastic strikes, high-flying gimmick, and devastating
Unbelievable!
Once they're kissing canvas, it's time to
Road Warriors.
1, 2, 3!
Some of the biggest names in wrestling await to test your might.
Oh yeah! It's time for WrestleQuest!
Okay, glad you said that.
Fees, no in-app purchases. Right, exactly. That looks cool.
Looking at that game, right?
Yeah,
I could see, like if especially if it's gonna run well on a phone, I could see me, opening up the Netflix app to play these kind of games.
Right.
Still don't really care much to watch anything on my phone off Netflix. I could always wait. It's not that big deal. But keeping myself entertained, I could definitely see myself opening up WrestleQuest on my phone because it looked like something that should be on the phone anyway. It's already on Switch. Like, good job, Netflix. I like that addition to the catalog there.
Right. Exactly. It's on other platforms as well. But Netflix, if you got a Netflix account, you can play it right now today for free.
For free. No ad. No ad. Well, okay, so how does that work? Because they do have an ad tier now on Netflix, correct? Don't they? Did they introduce that already? Did they put that out?
I don't think you get the games with the ad tier.
I
don't think. I don't have the ad tier, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Either.
So
okay.
All right. Next up, we have Immortals of Aveum.
Jack. We're out of time.
That lady. What's her name? She's an incredible actress.
Gina, what's her name?
Everyone that can fight already.
I'm glad she in this.
And we're still.
Well, I forget her last name.
I'm an all-time great. I'm a rise up to protect my own name. I'm an all-time great. Living let the see everything self-made.
Yeah, it's the first person aspect. I like that about this game. I don't have to hold a gun or a sword. I'm just casting spells.
I'm an all-time great.
Sigil.
Yeah, that first person spellcasting does look hard as hell.
Yeah, I think if this got a demo, because the demo for Final Fantasy 16 is what put me over the edge. I have to get that game. If this got a demo I could play, then we're gonna I'm gonna play that tonight. Does it have a demo? Why nobody won't just answer the question?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll
find it. Why?
They're not known for putting out demos, so.
Oh, that's true. Losers. You want me to buy the game or not?
Right, exactly. Exactly. So let's get to the last game we got today, and that's Fort Solis.
Okay.
Jack Leary, senior engineer en route to Fort Solis, in the Planum Quadrant, responding to an alarm. Suspected power failure. Await further information.
That's crazy.
Submitted. Is there no sign of security?
No.
Looks great.
It does.
I think there may have been an incident here.
What the hell is going on, Jack? You need to leave and let Central handle it. You need to get out of there now!
Okay.
That was an excellent trailer.
It was. It pulled me into the story just enough to want to know more.
Yeah. And side note, going back, I don't see a demo for Immortals of Aveum on Xbox either, so it isn't a demo.
Yeah, they said there's
consoles.
no early access period for it, so that's no demo.
All right. So that's our take on the games this week. Brian, what's going on with you, man?
What is going on? I put out. Oh yes, a new episode of Talk+Play blerdcast came out sometime this morning or whatever at time of recording. So Wednesday, the 23rd, sometime in the morning that dropped. My Renaissance World Tour review. I had some things to say about how they doing O'Hare with this whole blindside fiasco. That was crazy to me. Some congratulations. You know, Dwayne Wade just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's really dope.
Where have I been?
Oh, I don't know. You didn't hear about that?
I'm so out of the loop half the time.
Oh yeah, Dwayne Wade is now a Hall of Famer, which
good for him.
is dope. Sha'Carri just won a world championship. That was nice.
Yes.
My girl fast. What else? Music. So a few things there. Quavo put out a project. Victoria Monet's video is amazing for this On My Mama song. I really, really like. I'm really excited for her project to come out this week. Games. I just gave some updates about stuff I've been playing. Okay. Pushing further along on that Marvel's Midnight Suns game. Season 5 of Overwatch 2 is out, as well as some other things. They announced the all of the bundles that were coming to Call of Duty for the rappers and everything. Nicki Minaj, 21 Savage, and Snoop Dogg's like player bundles for Call of Duty. And then what else? Oh, television. I haven't really been watching much, but Upshaw's put out part 4 of their show. You watched Upshaw's?
I have seen bits and pieces.
It's actually really, really good. It really give you that like late 90s, early 2000s like sitcom feel, like live audience laughing and everything like that. And then Mike Epps is hilarious, along with is her name? Kim Fields, right? Or is it Whitley?
Yeah. Kim Fields. Yeah.
Kim Fields.
Tootie.
Yeah. So I just gave my reviews on where I am so far because I haven't finished part 4 yet. But it's getting real, man. They really going over some like real stuff.
Okay.
Kim's character is going through like some sort of depression stemming back to her childhood and things like that. So I don't know. It's really good.
Okay.
But that's pretty much it. I'm working or beginning the next episode, you know, writing that out. But other than that, nothing too pressing other than some games that I'm about to purchase because payday's around the corner and I got to start knocking off some of these games before Spider-Man 2 coming out. But
got you.
What about you? What you got going on?
Let's see. Since the last time we saw each other, I published a new the first video in a new series called Game Bites, where they're bite-sized playthrough segments and commentary of just random games. So I started off with going back and revisiting Microsoft's portable Halo efforts with Halo Spartan Strike. Okay. I always forget which one, because Spartan Assault was the first one. So that dropped on this past Sunday, and then Monday I dropped episode 159 of the podcast. So I have my interview with Favorite Faye talking about Broforce is the game of the week, as well as the fragrance of the week is Myth by Ellis Brooklyn. And then yesterday I dropped the interview with adult content creator Jessica Starling.
Okay. Oh yes, so, I did see that.
So Jessica. That's what's going on here, and you'll see me more Game Bites this weekend, and more interviews coming up soon as well. In addition to the podcast.
Right. All right. Sounds good.
Yep. We working over here, and also,
definitely,
I'm here with you every week. I'm with Kuya P and Sean Mongold every week on KayFabeyBaby. So we all working out. I don't know how we got full-time jobs with all the stuff we do, but anyway,
listen,
we are.
I was just saying that because I'm heavily debating if I want to start a new thing using the AMP radio platform, whatever.
Right. Yeah. A lot of cats I know have, well, not like, but a couple cats I know that are prominently using that as well.
Yeah. It's a good platform for music shows and things like that. So I'm thinking about starting something there, creating something for that platform, but I don't have the time. And it's really bothering me. I need the game as well. That's like my piece right there. But
I feel you.
Yeah. That's good. So where we at? Where they watching us at?
You know we at Nerds Rule the World. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the NRW, on Instagram at New Release Wednesday. Of course, you're currently on YouTube, so make sure you kick that algorithm going. Make sure you like share, and subscribe
right now.